How did you go from the dentist Isaac Yankem to Kane?
Well, we had in between we had the fake Diesel character.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. It was was a product of JR. Heel turn on the part of JR. And basically showing that he controlled the product and he could make anyone that he wanted a star. So I had that little stint, and then I was back with you. Actually, I was down in Memphis, and they had this idea. They needed someone to have a match. It was actually a pay-per-view match with Undertaker. And initially they were going to hotshot the whole thing. They just needed a one-match deal for Mark to have an opponent. And what they came up with was, his brother who had been burnt in a fire and put a mask on me and all that stuff. But Vince liked the storyline so much that he didn't want to just do one match. He thought that, he could make a real good story out of it. Thank goodness he thought that way.
Right.
And we were able to.
It's all over. Now we'll come to Tombstone. No. Oh my God, wait a minute. It's Paul Bear. It's Paul Bear. And that's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
So that's really how all that came about. I was, like I said, I was working for you, and never forget, I got to fly back up. I think it was Binghamton, New York, and have a meeting with Vince and talk about it and everything. And then for a while, I didn't know what was going to happen because they sort of put it on the back burner. But throughout the show, that whenever they had Paul Bearer had turned on Undertaker, and he would always talk about Kane, and this went on for 3 or 4 months, I think. And really, by the time that I debuted, they'd already had this story that had so much backstory. I think it was one of the best storylines WWE's ever done.
Yeah, they gave it such a great buildup and took so long. They didn't rush it. It was really laid out well. What were you doing in the 2 or 3 months, while they were building the story up?
I was still working for you. I think I was
Memphis,
USWA champion. Yeah, I was under a mask. I was Doomsday, a character that had been in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And then I was USWA champion, traveling around with Dutch, and just making shots, going to Evansville, and Louisville, and Nashville, and everything.
Yep, the regular old Memphis territory every single week.
Yeah.
So then, boom. I mean, was Kane just an instant hit? I think, as I remember, it was because, like you and I said, they gave it such a great build-up. They didn't rush it.
It was just a character that I just stepped into. I mean, the character was already created in the minds of the audience, and of course, going out the first night and giving Undertaker Tombstone Piledriver to cost him the WWE Championship at the first Hell in a Cell, you can't make a bigger statement than that.
Yeah, that didn't hurt anything at all.
Yeah. And of course, I owe so much of the success of the character to him. I mean, he did so much to make sure that it got over and that it worked. And everybody did really. And I spent it was funny, I was on one of those WWE specials a while back, and they were talking about 1997 and my memories of 1997. And I was like, my memories of 1997 is I pretty much destroyed everybody until WrestleMania 1998. So it was a pretty good run.
Yes, it was. Absolutely.
Yeah.